Hi, and welcome back to a long overdue 11th episode of this Pokemon Scarlet surprise trade crochet badge quest. Over the course of this quest, I will be surprise trading a Pokemon before each gym, Titan, and Team Starbase, and then crocheting the Pokemon I receive each time. Before I jump into a recap of last time, I wanted to start off with an apology for how long this episode took me to release. If you caught my DA weekend video in May, you'll know that I injured my wrist in a work accident, so I couldn't crochet for a long time. It took almost 3 months before my wrist felt okay to crochet again, and while it still aches sometimes, I should hopefully be back to full health soon. With that out of the way, I'm excited to get back into the swing of things. All the way back in March, I received a Charcadet, who I evolved into the warrior Armarouge and blasted through the Steel Titan Orthworm. During that episode, I picked up a Bronzor while collecting fragments so I could offer it up for trades. Bronzor gets sent to Bob the Ugly, and in return I receive a Dodrio. This is the first fully evolved Pokemon that I've received, so it seems like I'm making just one guy this time around. Already at level 65, there's no need for training, so Dodrio is ready to go as soon as we crochet him. This already fast Pokemon has the speed boosting timid nature, so I think we should honour him by blasting through this challenge at breakneck speed. Breaking down Dodrio's design is super simple. 3 brown balls for the heads. These are attached to a large brown ball body. The body is ruffled and changes to a black undercoat near the base. How are these heads attached, I hear you ask? Spaghetti necks. This is actually a gender difference for Dodrio. The males have black necks while the females have tan necks similar to their leg colouring. We have a male Dodrio, so I'll be making black noodle necks. Their thin legs are long and bend backwards like an ostrich legs do. They end with sharp taloned feet which have 3 toes on the front and 1 at the back. Dodrio's beaks are thin, sharp and long. Great for drill pecks. They have 2 long black feathers on top of their heads, and finally they have 3 large pink tail feathers. A very simple design, but one that's very top heavy. I don't think I'll be able to stand without some help. The colours I'm going to use are brown for the body and heads, a tan colour for the legs and beaks, and a black for the base of the body, the necks and the head feathers. Then for the tail feathers, I have a pink and a pinkish gold. I couldn't quite find a good colour match for these ones. I'll also use white for the talons. So I started, back in March, with the heads. I make a ball and then 2 more, nice and easy. I then move on to the body. I thought about making a base ball in black, and then add the brown ruffled feathers as a cap afterwards. It was after making this black ball that I injured my hand and my work stopped for a few months. I did get to post a clue though. Dodrio's simple design doesn't lend itself to abstract clues, so I just posted the 3 heads and, after some Doug Trio guesses, a few people got it right. Also, the clue in the last video was found almost straight away by one of my good friends. Dodrio's name is spelled out in the stained glass window right near the start of the episode. I hope you can find the clue to the next Pokemon in this episode. After my big break, or sprain if you will, I came back to Dodrio and began to craft the brown part of the body. I made a half sphere and then started crocheting offshoots. This part isn't completely straight around the body, it has 2 gaps so that it kind of resembles the wings of a flightless bird. I zigzag the base of these offshoots to give that ruffled look. I measure it up against the black body and can stitch it together. Moving on to the feet, I start with the talons in white. I make a cone and then change to my tan yarn and continue down the tube. I make 3 of these and then crochet all 3 together. I decrease the size of my rounds near the back and then change to white again for the back talon. I make 2 of the feet and get started on the legs next. The spaghetti legs are just long, thin tubes. I then switch to black and use some spike stitches to give it that zigzag look. I increase my rounds in black to act as the top of Dodrio's thighs. I'll add wire later so that I can bend them backwards and hopefully we can get Dodrio standing. The necks are similarly just black tubes that I make 3 quickly. With the tail feathers, I begin at the tip in pink gold. I make a semicircle to act as the rounded end before switching to pink and making the feather shape thinner towards the base. I make 3 of these. The head feathers in black are simply just long teardrop shapes. I make 6 and add them to their heads before finally moving on to the beaks. For these I make some thin long tubes and flatten them slightly. Some of Dodrio's heads open their mouths, so I wanted to have it so that my Dodrio could do the same. With all that, I think Dodrio is ready to take his first steps. But what's this? A Pokemon egg? I felt weird doing Dodrio, a fully evolved Pokemon, and leaving out Doduo. Luckily, I have another crochet video planned that I can tie into this one. I bought a copy of Alpha Sapphire a while back, and the previous owner's file had a bunch of eggs in the PC. I hatched them and thought I could make drawstring bag eggs with the egg designs being similar to how they are in the anime. One of those eggs contained a Doduo, so consider this a preliminary look at Doduo's egg complete with baby Doduo inside. I hope to finish the rest in the future and put them all in one video, so look forward to that. Back into the game, I have to choose a challenge for Dodrio. I don't think he'll have much of an issue with any of them with his level. I could take down the fighting type Starbase with super effective damage, but we've done a few of those now. The electric gym is a pass right now, so how about Larry? Fight normal with normal. So I head to Medali and craft a low kick TM for Dodrio, just in case I need some super effective damage against Larry. I check out the sights of the city before making my way to the gym challenge. Inside, we meet our art teacher Hassel, and we're introduced to everyone's favourite lesbian Rika, another Elite Four member. I guess they had business with Larry. Anyway, our gym challenge is to order a secret menu item at the local restaurant, having to look around the city for clues. Dodrio finally gets to see some action and battles a few trainers also searching for clues. Our first clue comes from this grate, telling us to order the item Fire Blast style. Our second clue is given to us by this squawkabilly, medium.
I set the toaster to 3, medium brown.
And then things take a turn. This child sends out her gumshoes, who begins to really slap around our big bird. It doesn't help that Dodrio doesn't obey me multiple turns and has a quick nap. I'm forced to heal up, not once but twice. Eventually, Dodrio gets the idea and hits a drill peck, but this was looking a bit iffy there. The gradient that follows is equally trouble. But Dodrio pulls off a last second drill peck again to defeat the fat squirrel. This fearsome trainer tells us that our next clue is at the ice cream stand. This one seems to be selling some grilled rice balls. I think we now know our secret menu item.
Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
Inside the restaurant, I order some grilled rice balls, medium-sized, extra crispy, but there's an extra question about garnish. The guy in the back tells me he's a regular here and that a squeeze of lemon enhances any dish. Thanks man, now we're ready. Medium rice balls, extra crispy with lemon. The restaurant transforms into a battlefield. I don't know if the floor rotated and the guests were thrown into a pit, or if the ceiling came down and crushed them all. Imagine eating here with your family and you hear someone order some crispy rice balls. Anyway, it's time to fight Larry, the dude from the bar. This guy is my favourite. I think he looks like Walton Goggins.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
I love that he treats this as just his regular job. He starts off with Kamala, and I go for a sword stance for an extra boost of damage. Dodrio disobeys initially and gets hit by Yawn. He dances the next turn, but will be snoozing soon after, shrugging off a slam from Kamala. I use an awakening to speed this up as Kamala misses a slam.
Now you know how it feels.
Dodrio disobeys again and once again is punished with a Yawn. He hits the next drill peck but falls asleep when the next Pokemon, a Dunsparce, comes out. Dodrio is hit by some Hyper Drills before eventually waking up, terastallizing into a pure normal type and taking down this 2-segment Dunsparce. Larry's ace Staraptor is sent out with an intimidating look, lowering our attack. Swords Dance pays off. I have to heal up after those Hyper Drills. Meanwhile, Larry is feeling dejected, but gets cheered on by the chef and all the customers. This gives him the energy to terastallize his Staraptor. Now we have 2 normal flying birds on the field that we have switched to pure normal type. Staraptor uses Facade, doing a little less than 1/3 damage. Dodrio hits itself in confusion before Staraptor hits another Facade. This is looking dicey. I have to heal up again, and after more disobedience, Staraptor takes me back down to low health, causing me to heal up for the millionth time. Finally, many turns in, Dodrio thrashes at Staraptor and takes him down. I just needed 1 hit. The battle makes Larry hungry, and he gives me the normal badge over a round of rice balls. This badge means Pokemon up to level 40 will obey me. Time to wrap this episode up by catching a Pokemon for trade. This Zorua will do nicely. Thank you so much for watching. I apologise again for how long this took to release, and I hope to see you again soon.